This episode is brought to you by Farmers Insurance. When was the last time you reviewed your insurance policy? So it's been a while, huh? Well, no worries. My friends at the Austin Brummett Agency would love to hear from you and provide you with some amazing rates. Give them a call at 678-402-8262 or email them at abrummett@farmersagent.com. That's ABRUMIT at farmersagent.com, and tell them Harley sent you. Insiders, Inside the Bubble with Harley G is now sponsored by BetterHelp. As a partner of this episode, listeners can access the BetterHelp link located in the show notes to receive 10% off your first month of therapy with BetterHelp and get matched with a therapist who will listen and help. Go to BetterHelp, that is BetterHelp.com/Inside the Bubble, the link to get started. You're listening to Inside the Bubble with Harley G, the podcast for the superwoman. Every week, we connect with amazing individuals who share their inspirational experiences and stories while motivating and inspiring purpose. It's time to hang your cape. Grab your coffee, your water, your cocktail, and come on in Inside the Bubble with me, your host, Harley G. Inside the Bubble today with my best friends. Yes, these two guys, these are my soul brothers. So, I don't know if you guys remember a few years ago, but I put a post out. I need to find that post. But I put a post out and I said, there are different types of soulmates that you can be fortunate enough to have throughout life. And so I wrote, there's a soul mate as a husband or partner, whoever that may be. There are soul sisters. I really truly believe that me and my sisters were, soul sisters. We are. And then I said, I have soul brothers. And there are 3 of them. And 2 out of the 3 are here today. And that's Lucian, Terrence, and Miles. We met in high school. I think Miles said this last week, but he was like, be careful of the friends you make in 10th grade because you just might be stuck with them. And so here we go. We have a friendship that has lasted 28 years. So I was just talking about this before we started. I said, Miles asked me, what is going to be the title of this podcast? And I said, it's going to be Friendship, Purpose, and Music. And that is what has really kind of held us together for 28 years. I talk a lot about how important it is to build community. And this community of friends that I have built for myself, this circle, is literally what has kept me motivated and inspired throughout the years. And unfortunately, fortunately, these guys have seen me through some really, really intense things in life. And it's just been amazing. And what I like about us is that we are not afraid to put, I'm going to say it, we're not afraid to put shit out there. We are not. Like, we all have our own stance on certain subject. And while we argue, because we argue, and when we argue, y'all, it is intense. Like, it's like, I remember some arguments.
I wouldn't say argue. I would say we have passionate conversations.
Okay, all right. We have very passionate conversation to where sometimes the kids are like, oh my God, do you guys hate each other right now? Why are you guys screaming? And we're like, oh crap. Because we are so very passionate about our friendship transcending whatever conversation we're having. And I think that is a deep bond that is not to be taken for granted. So we have Miles and we have Terrence, and they're actually the DJ team. So a lot of our experiences and stories center around music. Yeah. We have the wannabe like band member over there, Terrence, who was like, listen. We literally had an argument about, was Terrence really in a band? I was like, yeah, I was in a band. Terrence was not in a band. He just hung around us.
Exactly.
And then by default, people thought he was in a band, but Terrence was never in a band.
Never.
I'm with the band. Yeah, that's
but I was though. I just hung out with a lot of cats.
Exactly.
That's it.
So it was like...
That's going to be the name of his autobiography.
I'm with the band. I'm not in the band. I'm just with them. And so it was like me, Terrence, Lucian, AJ, Keisha, Tamara, me, and Avery came after because I didn't really know Avery until you guys introduced me to Avery. But
don't forget about Darcy, Joel,
and Marvin.
Marvin,
rest in peace. Yes, your brother who passed away. But it was so cool. So I actually want to talk a little bit about how we became friends and like why have we been able to form this bond that like we're still friends today, like almost 30 years later we're still friends. Why do you guys think that is? Because we have, like I said, we have very different personalities. I think if I had to call it, me and Terrence are the extrovert of the group. We roll on 20 on a scale from 1 to 10. We roll on 20. That's who we are, right? And then you have the conservative. We call him Deacon Miles. Deacon Miles. He's always preaching. He's always like kind of like the conscience of the group, right? And then you have AJ. What is AJ? Like he's like what, the wise man? Or what is he?
I don't know. He
doesn't have a classification.
He really doesn't.
He just goes with the flow.
He's tricky. The tricky guy.
Yeah, he goes with the flow.
Exactly. And he pops in and out. He comes into the scene for a quick second and then he's right back out, right?
He'll give you his wisdom. He'll spit some advice.
Yes.
And then he'll fall back and pull back out.
Yeah.
And then there's other times where he's like, man, fuck it. Let's just, have fun.
Exactly.
And drink and do what it is and party, have a good time. And that's it. Let's go to Bayside. Let's go to this. And
yeah. And then we have Lucian. Lucian is the techie guy. He knows all about the tech. Although Miles has a really wide breadth of knowledge when it comes to technology too. I mean, he's the part one of the DJ team. And then you have one of my best friends, Tamara. I think she's the smart one. I mean, she's the only one who ended up a doctor. She's the smart one. And then we have Keisha. Keisha is, oh my gosh, Keisha's like that, right? She's quiet, but she's like a quiet force. Like you won't know Keisha unless you're in her circle. And she's like the ultimate cheerleader, ultimate supporter. Love her to death. So that's the circle. That is the circle. But why do you guys think that we have been able to keep our friendship so strong? Matter of fact, I think it's stronger now than it was in high school or even in college, even though we went through like years, did not talk to each other. Right? Just not on purpose, but just because life was happening.
Yeah, we always were in touch. You know what I mean? Well, this is before any... nowadays you got social media, you got all the stuff.
Yeah, this was before social.
Yeah,
like when we were growing up, social media wasn't there.
Yeah, there was no such thing. I mean, it's
in the 90s.
In the 90s, you have to physically beat page, call. So now that's what I'm saying. So nowadays it's so much easier to stay in contact with people because you can have best friends, follow them on social media, and they make a post or. Whatever stories or anything, and then you go along with them on that journey. I saw you went to this concert. I saw you went to vacation here. I saw you did this, that, and the third. So when you kind of meet up with these people after being separated for so long, there really isn't much more to you don't
need to like spend a whole time to time.
Yeah, you can go into detail. Okay, so when I went to that vacation, my experience was this, that, and the third. What I didn't show online was this. what happened to me was that, you know. But they know and they can follow you like on a map as to where you have been and what you've done. Back then, you didn't have any of that. So you had to spend time catching up and going into detail of all that stuff. And I think that's what, it's just different. You know, nowadays, it's easier, simpler. Back then, you had to put in more effort to maintaining relationships and friendships. You had to put in more.
You had to be intentional about it.
Exactly, and more was expected of you as well. You know, both and all sides.
Yeah.
Right? So, and it's just, the easiest way I can say is just respect, mutual respect. If I had to sum it up to those few words, mutual respect and admiration. Mutual respect and admiration, because there were never any egos involved.
Competition.
That's what I'm saying. Nowadays, people, everything is in good faith. People go into relationships, business ventures, friendships with various intentions. I need to be friends with Harli because she has this podcast and I want to get my podcast up and running. So I'm going to befriend her, so on and so on.
I can get my personal game.
There we go. You see, there is no good, truly, you know, pure good faith. I want to interact and be friends with this person simply because of the person they are. Take away their marital status. Take away their sexual orientation. Take away where they are financially in life or their education level. What professional organizations are they a part of? Strip all of that away, and what's left is who you are friends with. And it, you know, so that at that time, all of us are so young and innocent. Ain't none of us have nothing to brag about either. So, that's what I'm saying. So,
that's the thing.
But then there are no doctors, there were no PhDs to brag about. There were no professional organizations.
We were all in high school.
But these things separate people over the course of time.
They do.
You know what I mean? Back then, you were just a scrawny kid, so and so. Now I'm a doctor. Now I'm this professional, so and so. I got this title behind my name. So now I can separate myself from you, who just works down at the coffee shop. You know, I'm the VP of marketing over here. So you know, you're different from me. You know what I mean? So back then, we were all on the same level. Nobody had nothing, no two pennies to rub together. So, if anything, that's what we all had in common.
Yeah.
But we all knew, even from back then, this wasn't going to be it. You know, whatever we are doing now, we're all going to be and continue to be better at whatever it is that we decide to do. And we're just all going to continue to support whatever it is that person ends up doing. Yeah. As long as it's legal and as long as it's right and it's not self-destructive, we support it.
And if it is, if it's not legal, or I'd be like, okay, what are we doing? You know, that's the thing. It's like we're able to keep each other accountable, right?
And
we're on this journey together. It's almost kind of like a secret society. Like we made a commitment to each other, I guess a long time ago. It didn't have to be said out loud, but we were going to support each other no matter what. And it's like, I know that if there's something going on with me, I know exactly who to call and I know exactly who to call. Like there's this circle and this circle is who I'm calling.
Yeah, and like it's important too because there's a different dynamic in this circle where you have both male and female. Yes. You know? Yeah. That is very rare now.
And one does not overrule the other based on gender. That's the thing. Like, I think we've been able to make sure that we're all on equal footing no matter what. Yes. Right? Yeah, so it's like, I mentioned, you know, that Tamara's a doctor. But you don't see this circle going around talking about, well, you know, she's better than us because she's a doctor and maybe, I don't know how much money she makes, but she makes more money. It doesn't matter. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, because, like you said, when we met each other, it wasn't about statute. It wasn't about class. It wasn't about who you were or where you came from. It was truly about friendship.
Exactly, yeah. And no egos involved. And at that time especially, and I would hope until now, no egos and any lack of, you know, any insecurities. That's not what we, you know, based the friendships on. So, and that's what I'm saying. Once it's just like anything else. Whatever the foundation, however way you properly lay the foundation, you could build a 10,000 story skyscraper. If it is strong, the foundation is built correctly, it will stand firm for forever until you tear it down.
Ladies, I know there's so much to do and not enough time in the day. Trust me, I'm right there with you. But what are you doing for yourself? Well, I've recently discovered Body Bar Pilates. Let me tell you a little bit about it. Body Bar Pilates will challenge all of your major muscle groups and provide you with a full body workout. Wow. Listen, I had to check it out. I took a class with Sherelle and it was amazing. They have workouts for all skill levels, whether you're just starting out or you're just looking for a new way to move your body. This is the community for you. Check out my friends at Body Bar Pilates East Cobb or give them a call at 678-941-4371. And don't forget to mention me, Harli G.
You know what I mean? Because as long as the foundation, if it's based on, like we say, other egotistical things and other bad faith things and other ill intent reason, it cannot sustain. So as long as you build that foundation firmly, and it's just like I say, in good faith, and no one's out to get somebody else, or I'm only dating friends with Harley because this one and that one, I'm trying to get back at this one, so I'm gonna befriend this one. I'm trying to, none of that nonsense, none of that foolishness. As innocent as it can be, as simple as it can be, and I think that's what's made it successful.
At the end of the day, to just kind of compress it at the end of the day, long story short, it comes down to your point, just being genuine, it being authentic, and as long as you're genuine and authentic, and there's the other thing of respect there, then if you have those three components, then we feel like any relationship or friendship will stand the test of time.
Yeah. It is, because when you say being authentic, that's really important to me because, one, I'm not trying to change nobody. At this point in my life, I just turned 44. Yes, I just said my real age. But
24.
Yes, I just turned whatever
24.
that age is. And I'm not trying to I don't have time to change anyone. And I don't have time to apologize for who I am. So it's like you're either going to accept me the way I am, but yet I am evolving. And I'm continuously evolving. So that means I'm not changing who I am, but I'm getting better. And I'm fine-tuning. And I'm focusing on those things that I need to focus on. And so if you're not able to hop on a train with me, sorry.
Train leave.
Yeah, exactly. The train is leaving the station.
The words of Lucien Wall, a.k.a. Money Low, gravy train.
It's about to go.
That gravy train.
It's leaving. It is leaving the station.
Either you hop on or you get left behind.
Yes.
And I think that over time, between, our generation and even fast forward to the generation of today, to your point, I think that over time, all of us, men and women, have gotten used to that. Look, if you're not going to be genuine and if you're not going to be on this train with me, then you're getting left. And I think more and more as we go on, like even the teenagers, even the young people of today, they're starting to get in that, mentality of, listen, this is me, this is who I am, and I ain't got time for it, and either you support me or you don't, or you on this train or you not. Either way is leaving the station with or without you. And I think it needs to be done, but it needs to be done on a more humble, authentic status.
Yes.
Don't get too full of yourself.
I think that's when the cancel culture comes in.
Right.
Yeah, and
I think that's how it goes wrong.
It should be a healthy balance.
Right? So it's like
a healthy balance.
Yeah. So
I
can tell. I'm looking at Miles' face. He's like, that cancel.
Because that is a culture. Well, okay, just rewind it really quickly. So, well, first of all, with the comments you made in terms of your age and getting to that point now in life, you can, I won't say be entitled to that. Maybe that's not the right word, but you have earned that by just living this long and accomplishing what you've accomplished. But at this age, then you can look back and say, okay, now I've amassed or I've earned all that I need to. I can now go into this other phase of life. You can't really do that as a teenager. You don't know anything.
You don't know
so
anything
you can't
yet.
dispel. You can't. Oh, well, Terrence don't know what he's talking about. So he's out of my life.
Yeah.
Me and Terrence don't. I like the red shoe. He like the black shoe. We don't agree. So Terrence, get out. Never come back into my life. That's stupid. That's what I'm saying. That's not looking at long term.
Yeah.
Because you're never always gonna agree on the same things.
Absolutely.
It has to be relative to what's important in life.
Yeah.
And what you find to be important in life. I may say, oh, it's okay to murder people. Terrence does not agree with that. Okay, that is a reason to say, all right, maybe I shouldn't hang around this guy because this is what he believes in. But I like the black shoe, you like the white shoe. That's stupid. You know what I mean? So you have to look at it in terms of as a whole and see, maybe I can learn from Terrence. Maybe this other one is better. Maybe this idea is the right way to go. He's experienced something I haven't experienced. Break it down, analyze it, and see for what it is. Don't overdo it and cancel everything. Because the issue with that cancel culture thing, it just shrinks your circle till you're just a party of one. Party of one. That's what it, because then if you just continue to cancel, I don't like Harli because she wears red shoes. Oh, she cancel her. Terrence wearing black, cancel him. You will just cancel everybody for anything.
Exactly.
Especially when it's not important to your life as a whole. You're canceling people based off of other people's feelings, not even stuff that you've experienced.
Yeah.
And that's what I say. It has to be a healthy balance.
Right.
A healthy, mature balance. Because, like you said, eventually you end up canceling everybody out of your circle, out of your life. Then now it's a domino effect. What does that lead to? You being alone. What does being alone lead to? Depression. After depression, it's a snowball effect. It can lead to anything, which was one of your recent podcasts. The other two young ladies talking about depression. Like, now when you're in a depressed state, who do you have to really help you after you done canceled?
Because you canceled everybody.
Everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, the one good friend or the one good family member who you may have left, who's in your corner and on your side, and now they're trying to tell you the truth. But because you don't like the truth that they spit to you,
you're not even in a space to
you're
accept
not
that.
even receptive. So now you're going to cancel the one last person you got in your corner who's trying to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it has to be a healthy balance. When it comes going back to the initial statement or to the initial question, you said, like, what is it about it, that made us be friends for so long? And I think that's what it is. Like, we're all humble. We're all respectful of each other. And along with being humble and respectful, we hold each other accountable. It's very genuine. It's authentic. We know it comes from the heart. We know it comes from a good place. And as long as we can keep that, as Miles said, the foundation, and keep that at the root of it and say, look, I may not always agree with Miles on this, but I know at the root, it comes from a good place. And he's being genuine and authentic to make sure we both hold each other accountable to stay on the straight and narrow. And
there's something to say with the fact that I can pick up the phone and say, Miles, I need to talk to you about something. Okay, so this happened. That didn't sit well with me. So let's talk about it. Let's figure out what happened, and then we can move on from there. And it's coming from a place of, I value our friendship so much that I'm not going to sit here and harbor it and be resentful about it or hold it in. And the next thing you know, I'm looking at you sideways. We're out of function together. You're like, what's wrong with her? Ain't nothing wrong with her. No, there's nothing wrong with me. But there really is something wrong with me. And it's like...
And you'll talk to everybody else except for the person who you need to talk to.
Exactly.
No,
we never do that. Well, like, you're either... at a point where you can let it go. You're like, you know what? Okay, so this was done. Is it really worth it? Do I need to have a conversation with a person? Okay, you decipher whether or not it's something that you can let go. If it's not, then you have a one-on-one. This is not about putting anybody on blast. This is not about me making you look bad. This is not about my opinion weighing more than yours. This is about really, truly a friendship, a commitment to each other. And so then I'm able to pick up the phone and say, Miles, this is what happened. It doesn't sit well with me. And I just wanted to let you know, this is how I feel about this. Now, this is what I was expecting. And this is what did not happen.
Yeah.
So now we talk it out and we figure out how do we move forward. And that is how we have been able to hold each other accountable when situations happen. Because life is going to happen. I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to know all the answers, and I'm not going to act accordingly every single time. I am perfect. But I'm not going to act perfect every single time. I was like, what? Did she say she's perfect? Anyway.
Not just gonna slide that in. I am perfect.
I am perfect.
Yeah,
But anyway.
am I hearing you?
I just gonna slide that in.
Oh
You
my
can trick
God.
him. You
Oh
slide
my
that
God.
by him. You can slide that by him.
Anyway,
see?
so,
Check
but
that.
the thing is, we're gonna get it wrong. We're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna stumble along the
Yeah.
way. But I feel safe making those mistakes. I feel safe stumbling because I know my brothers and my sisters are right there with me, and they're like, "Okay, Harli, let's get back up. We need to get back on track." And that's what I really, truly. That's one of the things that I really, truly love about this friendship.
Yeah, and it's something to be said about the whole dynamic of the mixture of male and female. Again, that is very rare nowadays because there's a lot of separation between the sexes nowadays. Where all of this comes from, why it all exists, another topic, another day. It's a whole. We can go
That's a
down
whole
that rabbit
different
hole.
podcast.
But that's what I'm saying.
Rabbit hole.
Those issues that are down those rabbit holes do not exist here. They don't exist.
Yeah, they
and
don't.
you can even, and it's not like I'm gonna go looking for it. I'm gonna go stirring up some trouble to see. It simply does not exist. You know what I mean? And the advice can come from any person,
Any
male,
one of us.
female, at any time. You can do a poll amongst everybody, and generally the consensus will probably be around the same. So you know what I mean? But it's just there's something to be said about that dynamic. And not any animosity between the sexes and weird stuff between the sexes. A mutual respect, for the individuals, whether it be female or male. And it's something to be said about that because that's very rare.
And it was very intentional that when I met my husband,
I was
that
just
he
gonna
was
say
it was either he was gonna get on this train or he was gonna make it.
that. I was just
Lucky for him, he made it. But I just said, like, I told him, I said, listen, I have a circle of friends. And if you're not able to get on board with them, this is not going to work. And he either had to respect that or get the hell up out of Dodge. And he has now become, like, you guys have become
add
like,
him into that's what I'm saying. At this point, like,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
has some really close friendship with you guys, and I mean, you guys have one of the closest friendship that he has with other males, or whatever. And so, but that is how important it is to me that my community stays true to me. So if you can't get on board with that, sorry.
And it's funny you say that because I was actually going to touch on that. And I was like, to Miles' point, like, yeah, we have a unique and a very, I don't know the correct word I want to use, but we have a very unique circle. And I agree with you. It is a blessing. It is a blessing and it is a gift that, oh, I don't want you hanging out with her. I don't care if she is your female friend. You hanging out with her too much. Or I don't need you hanging out with him. Why you gotta hang out? So like, we don't have none of that. And shout out to, my baby, my girl, Peru,
P.
aka P.
P.
Make sure you follow online.
PerulDesserts.com.
All right.
Whatever,
So PARUL.
Yes.
Peru.
Perul.
All right.
Desserts.com.
So
Shout
same
out.
thing, and I didn't. And let me be this straight. Let me just don't take it the wrong way.
He didn't want us to be friends.
TGT. Don't take this wrong.
Don't.
It's kind of like the same thing. I didn't use the exact words that you used with your husband. I didn't use exact words, but in some form of way, I kind of told her the same thing when I was like, "Look, these are my group of friends. Some of them are male, a lot of them are females." And they were here before you, and guess what? They gonna be here after you. All right, whether you make it or not, they gonna be here before. They gonna be here after. I just need you to know, like, everything's good, like we good, but these are my core friends, and I would love for you guys to get along, so that way you know,
Well, we got along.
It can work.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all get along.
And
Journey partner.
I knew y'all was gonna get along
Parole
from the
journey
beginning,
partner.
because both of y'all Haitians, and then both of y'all
You
personalities.
say like that's a bad thing.
Just like I'll stop. I said.
Oh,
Hey,
oh.
it's,
Jimmy got
shout
Jones.
out.
Okay,
Shut,
stop.
all right.
I brought
Shut
food.
up.
Okay,
But I'm
yes.
saying, like, I knew that, to the point of what you're saying about relationships.
Mm-hmm.
That is very important. That is very vital to his point, the circle and everything. I agree with that. So I just wanted to give like examples on how important it is and how like that can transcend.
yeah, and the communication, you know what I mean? It's just,
Yes.
and it's just letting people know this is who you are. No, and that's what I'm saying. No more apologizing for other people's shortcomings and other people's shortfalls and other people's insecurities. They have them, and it's
That's
unfortunate and it's sad. I'm not wishing, though. I can't wish anything upon anybody else that isn't already there.
Wish them the best.
Yeah, you wish them the best, and but we cannot continue to conceal and apologize for other people's shortcomings. If they have issues in the past with this one having a female friend, you should have went to therapy and dealt with that before coming to deal with me, because we don't have those issues.
Oh my gosh, exactly.
And you're not going to bring those.
Yeah,
issues.
we don't care what other
No.
people in the world have them. We don't have them.
We it's just like you said, we're not going to, but we don't have time for that. Like, we are grown, y'all. Like, at some point, you just have to mature beyond that. And if you're not able to, I don't have time. With all the stuff that's going on in my life, you think I have time to add that to it? I do not have time. I do not have time.
Wish
So
you the best.
exactly. So I want to transition a little bit into purpose. I also believe that it was within our purpose to have this circle, like this circle, or it's a. I really truly believe that it's a divine meeting or whatever of our circle of friendship. Like, there is a divine reason for me why I have this community and this circle of friends and these you guys' support. It's really important to me. It's like faith, and then I say faith, family. Family, I have two sets of family. The family that I was born to, don't have a choice. Stuck with them. Kind of stuck with them at this point. You know what I'm saying? I know. Gabby and Lily. Anyway, but so I have them, and then I have the family that I made for myself, and that is my circle, right? So it's my brothers, my sisters from another mother. Question I have for you guys: do you think that we are a mix, right, of where we come from and cultures? So you have the Haitian culture, you have the Bangladesh culture, you have the American culture, you have Jamaican culture, you have what is it? Oh my gosh, Guyanese.
Yeah.
She's Guyanese. I had to get it together. But
Virgin
you have
Islands,
you have Virgin Islands, and so you
Haiti,
have
whatever.
this melting of cultures that are coming together. And some people are like, wow, like, how is that even possible, right? Because you could have so many different beliefs and so many different values that are intertwined with each other. And I think,
friction.
exactly, but I think this is when we have these real discussions and we tell each other where we are and where we're coming from, and we're able to respect that.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, yeah, you have all of these different cultures. Why do you think we're able to, our friendship is still able to transcend and to be what it is when we have all these different opinions?
Yeah, because in my opinion, it's because personalities trump culture.
Yeah.
Because it's just that simple. A culture can shift and change at any time, any day, any moment, right? When you are a particular personality, that tends to pretty much stay the same. You know what I mean? And so it doesn't matter, regardless of what culture that person is coming from, there's a personality type that you're dealing with that is pretty much going to be who they are or who they were.
I agree with you on that.
All this time.
But I'm going to add something to it. I think it has something to do with core values.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
you know, core values is big for me as far as purpose, right?
Yeah.
And so I really truly believe it's those core values play a big role into it. Because, you know, mind, passion, energy, connection, and influence. I think at some level we all have those core values in a way. So it's like, oh, passion.
Yeah.
If I listen to these discussions, there's a lot of passion in there. Connection. Oh my God. So like I mentioned earlier that Terrence and I are very similar in personalities. We're the extrovert. And if you watch the DJ team, if you watch how Terrence is able to, I don't want to say manipulate, but shift the audience and wheel them in, that is a skill set that not a lot of people have.
Yeah.
And that's his unique ability to connect with the audience, which is why they're the DJ team. Look him up, djteam.com. Anyway, so, but that is very unique to Terrence. Miles is the businessman. Business, and I say that with a D.
More.
He the businessman.
Thinking,
He's always thinking the business. You know what I'm saying? And so
and that's what I'm saying. And
we're able to play off of each other.
Exactly.
Yes.
We embrace, and then again, more importantly, putting, I've always said it, putting those people with those particular talents and skills in the places,
right places
in which they belong. Don't put this one who's the
Don't
plumber trying to fix your car. Don't put the mechanic over here to do Harli's makeup before the show. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just continue to keep those people there doing what they're supposed to do, and stop trying to shift and
be something that you're not.
that you're not. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
This is more effective. It runs smoothly, and it's always worked. So I don't think there's any reason to change it. You know?
Goes back to that saying, I forget where I get it from, but I want to say it was at a previous job or someplace that I was working at or somewhere, and it was like, put aces in their places. You know what I'm saying? If you got that ace, that number one, if you playing spades, you know what I'm saying, or put it in relative, if for people that like play, if you got that ace, put aces in their places, like to his point, don't mix, put someplace in.
Put a heart
where they don't belong.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Yeah, that's how we vibe. We've had a chance to build this business, and we had this business since I moved to Atlanta in 2011.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It's like 8.
Yeah, since 2011, because I graduated 2010.
Yeah, officially and unofficially, but it's been off. But it's been coming up on 10 years.
Okay. So you have this DJ business. We're going to transition over to the DJ business. So you have this DJ. How did that even, I don't think I know the story. How did that even come about? How did you get up one day and you just decided you were going to be a DJ?
We started. First, it used to start, it started really, the foundation of it was, in Lucian's garage. Lucian's mother garage in Miami Lakes.
Miami Lakes.
What?
We used to play, buy records. See, back then, you had to go to catch the bus.
The vinyl ones?
The vinyl.
Catch the bus to 163rd Street. Blue Note Records.
Get off, go to Blue Note Records.
Oh my God.
NMB.
Yeah, or Peaches.
Blue Note Records.
This is old school Miami, y'all.
Peaches Music Store for people that don't know, or people in Miami.
Oh my
Specs
gosh.
Music Store.
Specs!
If you're from Miami,
Oh my
these
goodness.
places.
Okay.
And then, you had to buy the records and bring them home. And that's what we used to do.
This is what guys did when they hung out back then, y'all.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Play basketball, and then after that, go to the mall and buy records and stuff.
Wow.
Like that. So it started from back then and collecting records and everything, and it was just always been a hobby of ours. And then it really didn't. It's kind of a break in between college years.
Yeah.
And we would go to a lot of house parties and hang out with a lot of DJs, but we never really did anything that much during college years. But back then, I would always be saving music. That's when it transferred over to digital. Where you had Napster and all of these.
Oh my God,
downloading
Napster
service. And I would still make the CDs and put that stuff together. And when we would go out, I'll always be making CDs and downloading, and this one by the latest CD that came out, and this one by another one. Okay, I'll buy this one. I'll buy Donnell Jones. I'll buy this one. I'll buy the Genuine. I'll buy.
Oh my
back
gosh.
then, I hate to say.
Those
RK. I ain't gonna say the whole name. No,
listen.
But that
say it.
Jesse Powell.
Say it.
What?
Jesse Powell. So
Yes.
everyone buy a CD, and then we would copy them and all that, and
Drew Hill.
so then everybody had a copy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you know what I mean? All legal.
So that was like the beginning. You said all legal,
No,
all
not
legal.
for resale or distribution.
Exactly.
No. You know what I mean? So yeah, and then that's what it was. So I mean, it was just always the music. Love was always
The
there.
love of music was. Do you think that's something that is cultural? Because I feel like people know island music.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a genre on its own, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like Jamaican, you have reggae, you have West Indies, Haitian music.
Mm-hmm.
Like people know that music. That music is like transcending. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I think it's also very much a big part of our culture. I grew up on Haitian music. Like we were dancing compa like all day long in the house. That's what we did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now my kids are looking at me crazy, but I'm like, listen, y'all gonna learn this.
Mm-hmm.
So like we grew up on music, and it was so much. It was a part of our parents. It was a part of our upbringing, and it's part of who I am, right? And so it's like which is probably one of the reasons why I got in the band, and Terrence was with the band, and then you were comes back full circle. Anyway, and then like even Miles was with the band too. He was, and so like our circle was heavily involved in music as well. If you think about it, AJ was in the band, I was in the band, Keisha was in the band, Tamara was with the band. So you had like the with the band crowd, which was Terrence, Tamara, and Miles. And then you had Marvin, and so it was like all of us. Like it was like music was such a big part of us. You know what I'm saying?
And that's again other rabbit holes like musical creatives. And people that are musical people are of a different personality and different.
They are.
Yeah, they are.
That's a whole different community.
Going back to the personality type.
Yes.
It is. They are. They tend to be drawn to
They
each
draw
other.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they think similarly. You know what I mean? Their thought processes are similar, and just their outlooks on life and everything are more similar than not. Let's say. Everyone's not the same, obviously, but more similar than not. Similar paths, similar directions. Than
and for me, I'll let you guys in on a little secret, but I don't know words to music, y'all. I do not know the words to songs. I don't. I be faking it. I be like lip syncing. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, it's about the beat. Listen, the rhythm, the beat. I mean, like that's what captures me. Like I hear a song and automatically the beat, like boom. Yeah. It hits me, right? That's couldn't care less about the words.
That's most people.
But that is what I feel like
that's most people.
That is what captivates me.
I would say this, and then after that I'll pass it back over to Miles. M-Easy.
M-Easy.
That's what I call it. M-Easy.
Wow. Okay.
But I think to your point, most people are drawn in, especially in the industry. In the industry, when you're going to and you're going to perform in front of a producer or an audience, what's the first thing they say? You got the first 30 seconds. If you can't draw somebody in and capture them within the first 30 seconds, you're not going to. You lost them. So it's the rhythm, it's the beat to draw them in. But I think for me, to just kind of throw it in there, the difference between now and then, like the generation of now, and I know some people not gonna like it, but it's the truth.
It is what it is.
Oh well, I'm gonna say it, but it is what it is. Do your research. A lot of these artists today, I'm not gonna say all, but a lot of these artists, they make their careers based off just the beat, just the rhythm, production. Which is very valuable, very important, no doubt. But back in our day, you had to mix the two and have production and lyrics. Such like lyrics that actually mean something.
Exactly.
That's saying something.
Yeah.
And it's not all violent and not all, Can we curse? I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. Mama, please forgive me. But, you know, I'm not going to lie. People, because the first thing the young generation is going to say is, what you talking about? Back in the 90s, you had Uncle Luke talk about pop that pussy and da-da-da-da-da. I was like, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, you had that. But even with having that, there was still a balance.
Yeah.
And you had your old school, like, for every Uncle Luke, there was a Luther Vandross, there was a Barry White, there was
Jesse Powell.
There was a Teddy P, there was a Drew Hill,
Deborah Cox.
All of that, you know what I'm saying? Like
Shantae,
you know, all of that. Stevie Wonder.
Listen.
It was for every you know, Jay-Z or for every Big Daddy Kane.
But even them, they had a message.
It was a sustainable message.
Exactly.
And it just wasn't, you know, fuck the pussy ass, you know, ass.
Chicken noodle soup.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it just wasn't all like come on, bro.
I don't know.
Like, if you just gonna have this gimmick in the industry, they talk about a lot of these artists today, as long as you have a gimmick and a good beat of production, then you can be a millionaire. And I'm not gonna call out any names, but a lot of them are in the ATL. A lot of them are in Louisiana. A lot of them are in Miami, in the state of Florida, period. In the industry, period. They just got a good gimmick, and they got a good team where they make a lot of good beats and production for them. You know what I'm saying? But you listen to them lyrically, they're not saying nothing. But they making money. And that's, I guess that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, that's a whole
nother nother podcast. But then now they put music out there that's just like destroying our youth. Which coming back to it, when it comes to friendships and relationships,
I don't know if anybody's really like listening to it though. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, Beyonce dropped her album a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. Why is her album so big? Beyonce ain't done nothing in however long. Yeah. But she drops this album. It's huge, right? Yeah. Why?
The last album she dropped was before the pandemic.
Exactly. You know? So what I'm saying is, if you're a true artist and you have a real message, then the audience is gonna come.
They're gonna follow you.
They're going to follow you no matter what.
People who follow Usher gonna follow Usher.
Exactly.
No matter what.
And I think that's also where purpose comes in, right? Because if you're really passionate, if you're obsessed about what you do, then the audience is gonna come.
Yeah, and those people, like what Beyonce mentioned, those are the trendsetters. Whatever they do, the audience then follows. Yes. Whether they want to admit it or not. It's the simple fact. They steer the direction in which music is going. They are the influence. They are the top influencers. So when you hear something, you know, Drake dropped a dance/EDM album, and the majority of his fans did not. They don't understand the direction in which. He's a trendsetter. Where he says is where the music will go, and it's just whether they like it or not. So they can get on the train early or they can get on the train late, because those guys are at the top of the food chain, and whatever they come out their house in the clothes. That's where the style is going to go. Exactly. Whatever they come listening to or singing, that's where the music's going to go.
Perfect example.
It's just that simple.
And everybody going to be like, yeah, when I say this name, Yeezy.
Oh, my God.
Kanye, Ye. Like, when Ye first came out.
Listen.
With College Dropout.
What?
And everything that he was doing before College Dropout.
I remember
with Jay-Z.
Easy Knievel. Oh, y'all remember that?
He was always way before his time.
Listen.
Ye was always ahead of the curve. Always.
He is.
But then, you know, I guess once people finally start to catch up and they finally start to catch on, as soon as they catch on, he's already the next step ahead.
Yeah, and that's the good and the bad about being creative, is that sometimes they may not like this, but they eventually are in a competition with themselves. Yes. So they end up losing themselves because they don't know where their core is. They're always trying to go outdo. But then you have to kind of find out and come to a happy medium. Is this going too far away from who I truly am?
Exactly.
I'm trying. My focus is so much on leading the pack and doing something different. Am I getting too far away from home?
Yeah.
Am I moving too far away from home? Am I straying too far away from home? You know what I mean? So that's what it is, and it was up to those guys. But you know what I mean? We all like different versions of these people. People always say, "I like the old Kanye," or "I like
old
the old." But
I like old Luther.
Our generation would say,
I like the big Luther.
I like Big Luther. I like Big Luther. Exactly.
Yeah, some people say, "I like the pop Whitney. I don't like the gospel Whitney."
Gospel
Oh,
Whitney.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Get
Very
into that
true.
conversation.
Very true.
That's what I'm saying. But those people were trendsetters.
Centers, yep.
So
But-
they have to continue on
Yes.
in different areas in which we don't know about. We can explore different avenues in which we don't know about. You know what I mean? So, they'll say, "Yeah, I like the traditional gospel Kirk Franklin. I don't like this contemporary gospel Kirk Franklin."
So do you like the light skinned Michael or the dark skinned
Oh
Michael?
my
say that
God!
too.
Exactly.
Which Michael? The
Which one you?
I
Yeah.
like the R&B, my little Mike from Jackson 5. I don't like the Smooth Criminal or Bad Michael
Yeah,
Jackson.
whatever.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, so it's those, again, trendsetters. Those
Yeah.
people can do different things. I think we should kind of stop trying to compare ourselves to them because you can't. You can't do what these people do.
Yeah.
They're
you
icons.
you do what you can do
Exactly.
in your lane and
You
and
impact
try and
change the way you-
affect your community
Exactly.
Yep.
as best you can. And I think the best thing is change is always good, but just don't try to stray too far away from home base
Yes.
with the intent of trying to outdo others. Do
Yeah,
it
no.
with the good faith, back again. In good faith to do what's best for you and your community, not necessarily for your ego and for your bank account.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
What,
But when you stray too far away, that's what the problems that you get.
So you guys started like the DJ team for all intents and purposes 11, 12 years ago. Like it's been amazing to watch and come along on you guys' journey and see how much you guys have evolved. I mean, you guys are everywhere now. Like I was barely able to get this Sunday for y'all to come in here and record. I mean, like just little me. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. They're here. They're here. Like I got a day. I got a day. So why do you, and you guys have continued to evolve. You guys have continued to grow. You talk about, always looking to the future and what's coming up next, and you have to kind of be a trendsetter in your community. Why do you guys think that the DJ team has been so successful so far? And let the insiders know, the inside scoop, how is the DJ team going to evolve?
Well, first part is, how we're successful continue is just maintaining the core values. Maintaining the relationships with all of our customers. All of our customers are always repeat and referral business. Some people believe, I've got to get new customers, everything's got to be new. It doesn't. It's a combination, obviously, of new customers and new referrals that we can kind of trace back. I wish we can map it out on paper, but it's in our minds. Like there's a DJ team referral tree that you can kind of start from the bottom in the seeds and say, okay, this was the foundation DJ team supporters, and she referred us to that one, who referred us to the next one, and the next one, and it just sprouts into this big tree here where we can see, this all stems back to so and so who supported us 10 years ago and still supports us to this day. And anytime we need a referral, they will always be there for us. So you have that, and like I say, as long as you're able to see that and understand that and not stray away too far from that understanding of the whole tree, where I'm just so big that I don't care who refers me. I can do it on my own. We all can, but it's just like the referral base is the core. That's at the core.
Okay.
So that's how we're able to maintain and continue to be successful in that business, doing what we say, remaining professional, never getting too big. Our business is mainly weddings, and we do everything. But the bulk of our business do come from weddings. And the number one advice I can give to DJs or people that want to transition, say from nightclub or lounge and other backyard barbecues, whatever it is you're doing, to wedding DJs, is you have to first, before you start, get rid of your ego. Weddings and performing at other people's weddings, no one's coming to see you. No one cares that you are there.
Exactly.
It is about the bride, 1A, groom, 1B. I don't. People may not want me to say that, but it truly is. It is the focal point is upon that couple and more that bride, making her happy.
Yeah.
So it's not about you. It's
Yeah.
great that you're there.
Yeah.
But no one is coming. Well, I don't like the bride and groom, but I'm coming.
to see DJ.
No,
Who
that's
does
not
that?
It never has that happened. But if you ask some of these DJs, they would want you to believe.
Well,
it.
probably me. But
You see what I'm saying? to a private event, sure. But yeah, I'm not going to get dressed and buying a gown or whatever
to see the
to
DJ.
get makeup done to see the DJ over there, and I don't like the couple. No one's doing that. So
Right.
you have to eliminate the ego, and that's what a lot of those guys do. It's a tough transition going from nightclubs and private parties where you're the center of attention.
Right.
And you have to get people to come and see you versus supporting someone else.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
Okay.
And I don't know. Quickly, the future of it is just to continue to grow.
Yeah.
Continue to grow, continue to expand. I see a transition, where we have to, music and everything that we talk about is always age appropriate. As we get older, we may have to transition over to a slightly older crowd and everything and get, younger guys to do the younger events, younger weddings, proms, stuff like that. But we will always be there, to support and if needed, if requested. But I can see that in the future, growing the team out to a whole staff, you know what I mean? And eventually getting younger people and more diverse DJs in places to play for, different audiences and different people.
We kind of in the process of that right now.
Scaling. That is a word that I learned like when I went to one of the conferences. Scaling your business. Yeah, it's a professional word.
Yeah,
right there.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, I can't, like I said, we could talk forever. Like we could talk forever. So I just want to say I love you guys. I do from the bottom of my heart. One thing that I did not touch on that I want to mention real quick is that one thing that we have been able to do in our friendship as well is a lot of us have kids, and showing our kids how important our friendship is actually a priority for us. So our kids hang out with each other, they go to each other's birthday parties, they respect, they can spank my kids, I can spank their kids. Believe in that. We do because we are raising these kids as a community. It's not just Harli and Stanley. It's Harli, Uncle Miles, Uncle Terrence. They're so excited when they come over. My kids are like, "Oh my God, Uncle Miles is coming over," whatever. So that is one thing I wanted to mention. But we do have to wrap this up. I absolutely so grateful.
Going, man. Come on.
Keep recording, keep rolling. I love that you guys were able to come on today and talk about our friendship. It is really truly a model. Like it's a model. It's a model for other people, and I'm so fortunate that I'm part of this model, and I want to thank you guys. So
Listen,
yeah,
thank you, sis.
exactly. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you.
We love you too.
But
Thank you.
insiders, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Don't forget to check out the DJ team. Where?
All social media, one word, the DJ team. TheRealDJTeam.com. Everything, it's all over the place. The logo.
Yeah.
You can't find it. Just Google
Okay.
the DJ Team Atlanta. Come right up.
God. Okay. So yeah. So social media, website www.therealdjteam.com. So you can find them. Don't forget to like, follow, share, and subscribe to the pod. Okay. You can find their information. It will be in the show notes as well, so you guys can check them out. And don't forget, we drop new episodes every Monday. So every Monday, you guys are coming inside the bubble, and you are learning about amazing individuals like these two right here, and more like individuals that are out there that are really truly walking in their purpose.
And we're so proud of you and your podcast, sis.
Yeah.
So thank you for all what you have done, and we are super, super proud of you. So many blessings to you.
Yeah.
Don't stop. Keep going.
And this is the beginning.
And we gonna be here till the wheels fall off.
Exactly. Oh, the wheels ain't falling off.
Yeah.
Anyway, we about to roll in this Rolls Royce in a minute. But anyway, so thank you guys. Thank you so much. And remember what I always say: there's purpose in your story. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed our show today. Hit the subscribe button and share. Share this pod with your family, with your friends, with your girlfriends. And follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Inside the Bubble with HG.
Keep the conversation going. Drop us a heart emoji, engage with us. We would love to hear from you. New episodes are dropping every Monday on your podcast streaming platforms. And remember, there's purpose in your story.